Pink, thanks very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to us today. You've been with the club now for 9 months, and I thought it'd be an opportunity just to have a look back at where we've been, where we're going, hopefully, and just your feelings on the club as a whole. Looking back, the end of last season when you came in February and we went 10 games undefeated, and then the wheels kind of came off for the last 4 games. What did you put that down to?
I think overall we're working with a limited pool of players, and that does come back to kind of haunt you, I think. But I think we got a tune out of the players. I think the players are good, and they went about their business properly. Where we're good enough to challenge at the top, we probably weren't. But it wasn't that far away, because we never really signed anyone in the pre-season. We signed Big Andy and that's it. But no, I think that we inherited a group of players that were decent, lacking in confidence maybe a wee bit. But we enjoyed it, but we always had an eye on what's required to get to the top, because there's no point in being here if we're not challenging where we want to challenge. But we quite enjoyed it, but so we had an eye on what we're doing this year.
Right. Okay, and what were your overall feelings of the atmosphere around the club and just the club in general when you first came through the door?
Well, I can be honest with people that I've felt that over the last years there's been a bit of a shadow over the club, as far as I can see, and I'm sure the chairman and his directors will think the same, that we need to be these 5 should be challenging at the top. Certainly they should be in the first division. And but no, it wasn't for me to say. They've always been very nice people. And but no, I think we should accept the criticism of underperforming. Not about the whole club. There seems to be I don't think we're achieving what we want to achieve, but certainly getting there now. That's my impression. But since we came in, everyone's been supportive, and the players have been great. Now we've got a massive challenge in our hands.
Yeah, the start of this season, we were undefeated in the friendlies, and the first 3 League Cup group games, and then we had 2 heavy defeats, starting with St Johnstone. Did these 2 defeats concern you greatly?
Not at all. Not at all. No chance. No. Yeah, Liam, see it. I mean, believe me. See the cups at the start of the season. You want to get me annoyed? You just ask me about the cups at the start of the season. They're an absolute joke. But no, should we have done better? Maybe. Would we have liked to have done better? Of course. But I mean, it's just a joke as far as I'm concerned. And I've been on record for a lot of years, in the last 20 years. And part-time teams coming in, you get about 2 weeks holiday, and you have to play signed players. So you've got to balance off giving them a rest with being fit to play. So I think our boys did really well, and in the games you're talking about, they were excellent. St Johnstone, that's probably the best they've played. So I thought that we never want to get beat. That's the mentality we're trying to develop here. But I never changed our plans to get the club and to get the team where we want them to be. Really, it didn't bother me at all.
The defeat to Elgin, I suppose, when you look at the way the league's worked out now, I mean, Elgin lost their first game of the season on Saturday, so that wasn't it was never a given to go there and get 3 points.
Liam, they're interesting questions, because I never subscribed to the view that you don't win games in paper. I mean, going up to Elgin, Elgin deserved that victory. And we didn't play. We've got to get to our level. We get to our level, were as good as any and better than most. But I mean, Elgin deserved to win that game that day. And we didn't play well, but listen, it wasn't a big disappointment to everyone because everyone had us down for some reason. I don't know why, because we had an indifferent season last year and we only signed one player, but it was probably to do with the fact that, you know, we're kind of winners and we try to install that work ethic in everyone. But it didn't trouble us, Liam. It was a shock. It might be a shock to some people, but it was a timely reminder. As the games of late, there's nothing in this league. We get to our level and we're better than most of them. But if we didn't, there's nothing in this league at all. And Elgin showed that. And they've had a great season up until now, haven't they? They've found that they're really defensively minded and but really strong. And what happens is you play against these teams and we're not good enough to break them down. And then they just hit you in the counter-attack. So they're this is a hard league. And we're where we are, but we've a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I suppose when you look at the results since that Elgin game, the only real disappointment up until probably 3 weeks ago was the defeat at Stranraer, where we possibly deserved something out of the game, but again they worked their socks off and ended up deserved winners of that game.
I think so, but I would rather major on the wins that we've had. I mean, Stranraer beat us on Saturday, and it was the same type of game. They were up for their work. We weren't as good as we should be, and that's something that we've got to sort out. Dick, myself, the rest of the management team, we've got to get to that level that we keep talking. We get to that level, which over the piece, we're not far away at times. Certainly, it's more difficult now with everything that's happened. But we get to our level and we'll win games. If we're up, if we're off it, no, I think they went down to Stranraer and Stranraer deserved to win the game. That's what it was. When I say that, I do say that easily. That's a real kick in the backside to us. But we've got no divine right to walk out on the pitch and win football games. I can tell you, no divine right at all. And we've scored more goals, many more goals than everybody, but our feet are firmly on the ground and focused on what we need to do throughout this long season.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to accentuate the negative there because I was just going to come on to the really good performances. You know, the 2-5 goal victories against Bonnyrigg and
Clyde
and Stirling Albion away from home. So, you know, once we get into our stride, there probably isn't anybody any better than us.
Yeah, it's pretty settled. We know what we're doing. We're pretty well organised. We get a result of the players, and but you know, this is not an excuse. You'll never get an excuse from us. But man, we've been shoehorning a team for the last 6 or 7 weeks. I always started way back with kind of Murdo getting injured, back forward, he was in and out, and then we had to change the team about, and Jess getting injured, and then, what do you call him, going out, Reese was injured at the time, but when we've got our full team on the pitch, we're well organised, not conceding any goals, so we look a good team, and we are a good team, and but obviously we've had to change things around with really serious injuries. And that's affected us a lot. But no, in terms of, the goals we scored, it was great. And you get boys like Troughton. Goals are important. Goals are important in a team. Can they lift confidence, lift the fans, they lift everyone. And we're a potent threat. Maybe not now because we've lost a wee bit of firepower. And but we were, and we'll get back to it. We need to get back to being a potent threat up front, because we're just, every time the ball went up it was sticking, allowing midfield players to get up and support, and the strikers themselves were scoring for fun, which is to their credit. And obviously would have kind of gone off, whilst we're doing that, in the middle of the park, we're probably Kinesia and Jess and that in there were as good as any. And so the whole team was looking good, wide areas. You know, you got Liam and Reese there, and Jack and the rest of them on the right. They were all performing well. But that's on the back of scoring goals with a high confidence level. And these guys have been tremendous. absolutely tremendous. But we've attacked these games from a position of being well organised.
You touched on injuries there. Can you give us an update on where we are with injuries?
It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Brian Easton will be out for a few more weeks yet. He just came back from being out for 7 or 8 weeks, which is one of the best centre-halves in the league. But so Brian will be out for another 2 or 3 weeks. Troughton looks as if he'll not be himself for another 3 or 4 weeks. Toddy is out for another 4 or 5 weeks, we think. And Fash obviously is now out for up to 3 months. And that's on the back of... what do you call him now? Liam as well, who's been a fantastic player. So we've got 5 players there who are first-class players. We'll be starting in any team in this league, but we're going to lose them for the next couple of months. So it's a really disappointing news, but good thing is it's with the rest of 3 quarters to go the season, and we're at the top of the league. But we've certainly got a job to do. So the players that are left, and a kind of limited pool of players, we will be lucky to have 12 or 13 players this week available. That being said, that's what happens in football, and so we've got to pull together and get about things. But it's certainly, see, when we're going well, the team kind of picks itself, and they're just a great set of players, and the supporters are liking it as well. But now you're one. We've got a job to do. We really need to just pull together, and we're needing the fans kind of more than ever. What I would say, Liam, too, one of the things is I've got to take my hat off to the fans. I really do. I sense a real warmth and a connection, and you get the 1 or 2 boys giving us a hard time on Saturday, but that's football. But the vast majority of the East Fife fans have been absolutely tremendous. And I've got to thank them. Away games have been magnificent, and at home I do feel that they know what we're trying to do, and they're well behind us. And I thank them for that. But we need you more than ever now. If we're building a team, not just on the pitch but off the pitch, with the fans, with the community, and all the rest of it, we need everyone, and we're certainly needing them now. So please exercise some patience out there, because we've got a job in our hands for the next few weeks. And let's see what the rest of the season brings us.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, 5 players who would normally start for you. There's no team in this league would not struggle without 5 players of that quality.
Yeah, it's a fact. But the thing is, it's hard to put. You can state the facts. And what happens then? You kind of, as I use the phrase, you shoehorn a team together. We're putting players in positions that ordinarily don't play in those positions. You get guys who've been playing now who've not been playing for a while, and then you don't get the results, and their confidence isn't as high. So it's up to us as a management team to get people lifted with a lot, with a pool of players which is diminished severely. And we've got to get the best of the boys that have come in. They're good players, or they wouldn't be here. But and of course we've not got any backup at all to them. So if they don't deliver, well, we won't get the results. But it's up to us to make sure they do. And they're great boys, so let's see what happens.
Yeah. I suppose you do have some of the under-20s that you can bring in. Obviously, it wouldn't be your first choice to be using these guys, particularly as the ones that you have been using are young players. But it's an opportunity for them possibly as well.
It is. They're nowhere near the standard to come into the team at the top of the league. We're trying to win this league, remember. And so for us to be dependent, or anywhere dependent on these guys, it's no fair on them. Bringing them on and developing them as players is great, and I love their enthusiasm, and we'll bring them on, and we'll bring. But the last thing in the world you want to be is dependent on them, because they're just young boys, and they're good players, and they've got a big future, and they'll get more of a chance now, probably later on in games, but our job is to develop them and make them part of the East Fife ethos and the winning mentality, which we're struggling to get just now for some reason. Well, I know the reasons, but...
Aye. Just talking to young players, we've got Matty Rollo, and we've got Brendan Ramsey, Charlie Murray, and Gregor Nicol out on loan. How are they getting on with their loan deals?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to understand it. I mean, these guys were on our bench last year, but never ever played. With youngsters, they've got to play, and we thought it's better, from a development point of view, to go out to teams where they're playing every week, and we keep an eye on them, and they train with us once a week, and we keep an eye on them, see how their development is, and then we'll decide whether they're going to be good enough to get a contract at East Fife, or whether they're not. And but you're not going to find that out when they're sitting on the bench here, and you know they're too good to play for the under-20s. But to answer your question, they're doing great. Greg's injured just now, and so is Matty. He's been injured for about a month, but he's doing great at Crossgates. So more specifically, Greg's been doing well. He's been playing a lot, and but he got an injury there, and he's been out for about 4 or 5 weeks, strangely. And but we're looking after him. Matty's been out for longer, and but Charlie and Brendan have been doing great. And then I'll get feedback on them, and we'll decide. With Dick and the rest of the team, we'll decide whether we want to extend that loan period, but we want to see them develop and want to see them getting to a standard. Obviously, they're our first priority, because the under-20s are important to us, and we want to bring people on. But it's much better bringing them on a winning team. But the dilemma then is, how do you put them in? How do you put them in a winning team? Because we're going great there. You know, the bench is strong, so it's hard for the young boys to get a game. So now, when the young boys come on the bench, they're going to be under severe pressure, because they're, you know, we've got a limited resource.
Just touching again on the under-20s, they are doing very well in the Lowland Development League, considering that they do have an awful lot of 16 and 17-year-olds playing against guys who are 20, and apart from a couple of aberrations, the results have been absolutely terrific for them, which can only stand the club in good stead.
Brilliant, love it. And as I say though, that with young players comes inconsistency, but it's fantastic the work that we do in under-20s. We love that, and we've got to, if they can feed on players who are good enough to come on into the first team squad, that's marvellous, and that's something that we're always we're always aiming for. It's a massive bonus for us, because your preference always would be to kind of bring people on and bring youth players on, because if they've got the talent, they've got the energy, and so we're looking to keep an eye on these guys all the time. But I do stress that with young players, to come into a team we're not trying to stay in this league, we're trying to win the league. So it's a different quality player, and we've got to bring them on, put our arm around them. And they've enjoyed coming to be involved with the first team, whether at training or whether they're on a Saturday. They enjoy it, and it's great to have them. And long may that continue.
Good stuff. We're going to be coming up to January, and the new transfer window, or the latest transfer window, will be opening up. Do you expect to see new faces coming in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We expect probably go as far as major changes, major improvements and development. That's not to say the boys we've got, but we've got a lot of players injured. So we need to kick on. You know, we're not here to make up the numbers, and so we do, subject to budget, obviously. But we see major developments in the window, and in addition to what we've got, which is up until the last 2 or 3 weeks has been absolutely first class. But it was always our intention. We know what we're doing. So, and we know the type of players we've already got identified. But that's not taken away from our players, because our players have got us to the top of the league, and with a wee following wind, we can go on. And but they need help and support, and we need alternatives, and we need strength. So the second half of the league is always important to us. If you look back at our history, the second half of the league is where we really go to town, and we've got to make sure that happens. In addition to what we've got, but again, subject to what we can afford.
Yeah. What ultimately are your hopes for the rest of this season?
Well, we're trying to win the league, and that's it. Where the hopes on behalf of the management that we become a force to be reckoned with, and we are, although we've kind of gone off the rails a wee bit now, which we can talk about if you want. I think that we want to be a team that's at the top of the league, not second, not third, at the top of the league, but we've got no divine right to get that, because there are a lot of good teams. So our challenge is to get the team to the level that we aspire to and we believe in. And so we've got to get that, and if we get that, we'll get some success. So our ultimate aim is to win the league. I guess if we don't, it's just not something we consider. We'll just have to, we'll certainly be up the top of the league, we hope. But we also want to see us getting better. I'd like to get back to a settled team, and I want to get better. Now, we're not here, and I don't think the fans want that, I don't think the board wants that. We're not here to be anything else but get promotion. Now, we've got no divine right, because there are a lot of great teams in this league, but we're trying to build a club, and we're trying to build a team. And so this is a major step for us to, with the players we've got, with additions, to be challenged at the top, and for the fans and everyone to be together, and the club will build on the relative success we've had.
Yeah. It's interesting. The main purpose of this interview today, which you requested to do, was to thank the fans for their backing just now. And it's good to see that the home numbers at games here, that they're not shooting up, but they're steadily creeping up week on week. Again, that can only help you with your budget, I suppose, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I suppose so. I think we're building football teams. It's all about just revenue streams. And the more money you can get in, the more money you've got to attract good players. Now, we can be the best coaches in the world. We can be the best managers in the world. But if you've not got any money to buy players, you struggle at times. And to be fair, we're all heading together in the same direction just now. But we need to get better. We need to get... Now, the players who've got a jersey, who are in the team, need to get better. It is as simple as that. And they need to be more consistent. They need to be better. But they're a great set of boys. And they're a good team, but we need to get better. Our aim, our medium-term aim, is to be in the higher division. But I'll tell you what, not for 1 second do you underestimate how difficult that is. I find it exciting, but every game is a World Cup final, as far as I'm concerned, as far as Dick's concerned, Malky, John, everybody. And so we've got to build on what we've got now. In the very short term, Liam, it's just criminal, really, what's happened in terms of all these guys going out for long periods of time. You get all these players playing, and I think we'd be well ahead in the league. But we're not, and so we've got to manage what we've got at our disposal. So we need to get together, everyone, on the pitch, off the pitch, and see where we are from now till Christmas. The second quarter is going to be a real challenge for us. And then by that time, you do the right things in life, you do the right things in football, and the right things happen for you. We'll start to get it moving. Be hard to beat, be well organised, be professional, be committed, be absolutely 120% up for your work. Now, it's all right me saying that, and Dick saying that, but you saw what we're up against. Every team that plays against these five are up for their work. So there's a major challenge there. You see, when you're building teams, you're building professional organisation, but you're also building character and winning mentalities. And that's been probably the biggest disappointment. Although we've been short in players, and there's no point in being too public about that, because yeah, it's up to us to sign the right amount of players and the right quality players, and we've not been far away. But we've got to build. We've got to have character, and now there's a light getting shone on us now, because we've been winning comfortably, quite easily, with respect to the opposition. Whereas now, oh my God, I'm excited by it, but we've got a great battle on our hands. Let's see how good we are now. Let's see how good the club is. You know, let's see how committed we are together to actually get to the goals. And I'm not even thinking of anything else, and neither is Dick, and neither is the management team. We've got to win football matches and be proud of it, But nobody's got to be sitting back on their hands saying, "Aye, over to you guys." And so the future is going to be tough. The short term, all the future, to achieve success anyway, is going to be tough, but it's exciting. So let's get in about them. As I've said, we need a sense, a real warmth, and every time we go over the halfway line, the crowd get excited, and that's a great feeling. And I know, but there's nobody feels, and I think you know us already, but certainly me, and Dick and John and Malky, but nobody is more disappointed and buggers up your weekend big time when nobody's, and everybody's the same. Everybody wants to do well, but we've got to make sure we've got a concrete base of good players, good attitude, good work ethic, and the respect. And we need to get back to this, to where we were. Albeit it's really difficult when the resource is stretched beyond belief. But hey, c'est la vie. Let's see what's ahead of us.
Finally, have you got a final rally and call to the fans?
Oh no, hopefully I don't need them. My thoughts are with the fans. As I've said to you, that go and exercise a bit of patience, you know. Fine, goes with the territory. Some guys are questioning my parenthood behind me on Saturday there, and fine, if that's what they want to do, they want to do. But the vast majority of our fans have got to understand that the club's changed. We're moving forward. This club's about getting success and getting everyone working together. Now we've got a shining example, backs up against the wall, of everyone working together. Now, as I've said, away from home as well, they've been fantastic. So exercise a bit of patience. I'm not making any excuses. You're welcome to. We listen to your opinion, but we have got to get everyone working together now, and so the fans, the directors, everyone, and see it. But their help so far has been great, but we're needing them more, and we're needing everyone now. And I think we'll deliver. You see, if you give everyone you've got and 20% more, fans are happy, eh? And the reason we set up, and I know it hasn't happened lately, and that's a dilemma and a paradox we've got to answer, why we've not started the games well, and that's something that is calling on all our experience to answer. But we've got to start and be way ahead of the competition in terms of our work ethic, and that's where we are. But the fans are critical to us. I hope that you really understand the dilemma we've got, the predicament we've got. We've got no divine right to win football matches, but I'll tell you what, we are committed big time to success, and the success is winning football matches. That's all we're interested in.